Yeah, baby. That's some hearse purr right there, boy. At 330 yards, boy. Woo! Good loud. Guys, what's going on? Michael back with another awesome episode. Today we're out in the woods, out in the Estacada area. Gonna be doing a little shooting with my 6.5 Creedmoor. Got a couple targets out there at 100 yards. I don't know if you guys can see them out there, because I can't even see them right now. Oh, there's one right there. Got one there, and then there's one over here, kind of behind the bushes right there. I think that one's a little bit further than 100 yards. But anyways, today, folks, out here again with my Ruger American Generation 2 Predator. And as you can see, there's no suppressor on here yet. I'm still waiting for my suppressor. I don't even think it's landed in Oregon yet, so waiting for that. And then I'm gonna have to do, I pretty much got all the paperwork done. I just know when it arrives in Oregon that I'm gonna have to do some finalization of some paperwork, and then I have to do the waiting process. And from what I'm hearing now, it's anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks. So I don't know, keeping my fingers crossed it's gonna happen soon. So I did do a bunch of things to the gun, and I said in my last video I was just gonna leave it alone, but I just couldn't help myself, and I kept second guessing my scope rings and all that stuff, and the bedding and everything. So what I have here, you guys, is now these are cheaper Amazon scope rings, but they are badass Amazon cheaper scope rings. I think I paid around $45, $50 for these. They're fully machined inside. They have the torque specs here on both the clamps and the torque specs for the Picatinny rail that's on there. I don't know if you can see it. They're on the back somewhere. Anyways, much better scope rings here. So what I did is I took the scope off. I checked the torque on the Picatinny rail, and that was a little bit off. Then I disassembled the gun again and checked all the two bolts here that bed the receiver to the stock. And I went to 70 inch-pounds of torque. The manual says between 60 and 80, so I just split the difference. I think it says maybe 65 to 80, somewhere in that ballpark, but I'm right around 70. I bought a little torque wrench to do it all properly. So the bedding bolts got torqued, the Picatinny rail got torqued, everything torqued to specs, leveled out, everything good to go with some decent scope rings. And I'm done messing with this now, officially done, until I put the suppressor on here too. So if I get this gun close today and then I bring it out again and I'm still messed up, I'm getting a different scope. So I remember, if you guys remember last time, did have some issues with this scope being way off, and all I did was remount it. But I wasn't really liking my mounting process or my rings. There was a little bit of foam stuff that kind of rubbed off on the bottom of the scope right here that I totally cleaned out, and I think maybe some of that was in the other scope rings or whatever, I don't know. So everything is done 100% the way it's supposed to be. Couldn't get it any better, the setup right now. And I checked the bore sight at home, it seemed okay. So we're just gonna go straight for 100 yards and see if I can hit it out of the gate. Today we're gonna be using the Superformance Hornady and then the Hornady or the normal whitetail. As you guys know, I'm pretty much dead set on the American whitetail from Hornady. It's a 129 grain bullet. I have a box of those with me, but I'm gonna shoot these out and get rid of these so I can concentrate on the other ammo. So this will be a good ammo to see where my scope is right now, because I just remounted it and that kind of thing. So let's go for it. Beautiful spring day out here in the woods. This could be like a good little hunting spot too, because you got a nice little view, about 300 to 400 yards back in there that you could see and stuff. And I found some deer tracks out there when I was setting up my targets. So super nice out here. Weather's perfect. Let's get some shooting done, boys, girls, whoever's watching. All right, so I'm hoping that I get on paper with the first shot or two. I don't want it to be like it was last time where I was 6 MOAs off. That was something else. So the link for the scope rings and this cantilever, I'll put some more links down. I got some tools and I got a new torque wrench and everything. So I think it's, instead of guessing, especially when I'm trying to get this precise on something, there's no reason to guess. Just got to bite the bullet, get the correct tools and all that stuff. So, oh boy, crazy glare into the scope now. I don't see anything yet. Let's do one more round. Looks like my target fell over. That's weird. Like the staples came out. Yeah, my target definitely fell over. It was weird. I do see a hole in it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. 2 holes. Almost level. So we're 3 inches off. I'm just gonna crank it over 3 inches and just start going for it. I'm gonna staple it down a little bit better. At least we're on paper. I swear there's a branch just hanging right over that thing. I should have knocked that branch down. Bullseye, baby. In the red. Just like that, folks. Woo. Good load. I'll do one more. And then we'll see. And then I might go up a little bit, but that was right on the money there. That was pretty good. That one looked a hair high to the left, but I felt myself move a little bit before I pulled the trigger. That first shot I just did coming back, that was an excellent shot. Total surprise. That's the way I like it. Let's do one more and we'll go take a look. That looks like that went 1.5 inches to the left. You go see, that wasn't a very good group actually. All right, back to getting the workout. Tromping through these woods and stuff. That's actually a lot better group than I thought. So, that's our last 3 shots. First one was a bullseye, and we got a little high, a little over to the side. So, gonna just click it back just a hair. I don't want to be chasing the dog here, but I know I'm pretty confident where I'm at now with this gun. So I'm gonna go maybe a little higher. I would like to be hitting here or up in here if I'm aiming here at 100 yards. So a couple more clicks up, and man, that's not a bad group at all, you guys. That's sub MOA right there. Let's get it. Woo! All right, messing around with my red dot on my 19X. Shooting pretty good at about 7 yards or so. So that's pretty awesome. This thing's got time to cool down. Barrel's cool. And we said we were gonna go over just a touch. And we're gonna come up. We're gonna come up 1.5 inches. It's right there, 1.5 inches up. Let's see what we can drill. I see a hit right there, but I don't know exactly where, so let's just do 2 more back to back. Wasn't too steady on that shot. Uno más. Let's go take a peek. So this is what I just did with my 9mm, my red dot. So I did a group here, a little low here, and I went the wrong way on the red dot to adjust it, and then it got further down here. Then I realized what I was doing wrong, adjusted it again, and then I came up here and did a 3-shot group here, and then a 3-shot group here. So not too shabby. All right. So we had this group before, and I believe we got one there, one there, one there. That's not a very good group at all. That's kind of all over the place. So we're gonna put a new target up and see. All right, fresh target. Did a couple clicks on the old scope there. We're gonna try the normal whitetail. So this is a little bit heavier bullet, 140 grain, and see where we put it. I'm just trying to get some groups about 1.5 inches high on my bullseye now, kind of centered up. I'll be happy with that. And then maybe at the end we might punch out. There's a tree stump sitting out there right at 400 yards. Maybe I'll try to do some dope and see if I can hit that tree stump way out there. But I'm not gonna go out there and put a target out there or whatever. We'll just see if I can see impact or see about where I'm at. I guess at 400 yards. We'll see. I don't have ballistics on this, but 400 yards on the other ones, the smaller ones, is a 20-inch drop if we're zeroed at 200. So you might just get a little more drop with these. So we'll see what's up. It's fun stuff. Highly challenging, very technical, especially when you're just learning like I am. But we're making a lot of progress here, and I'm really, really liking this gun because it's, you know, it's predictable. That almost looked like 3 inches high, but it's right centered up. I didn't feel 100% on that shot either. So I really like when I get locked in, I can just exhale and just gently squeeze that trigger. I got the trigger adjustment almost all the way out, so it's as light as it could be, unless I modify the spring, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm kind of getting used to the trigger, and I think the trigger's okay. I just like when I'm really firmed up and the crosshairs are just dead nuts, and then I just let that trigger become a surprise. That's when I'm getting the good shots. I felt a little bit of pull on that last shot. High again, pretty much centered up. That looks like a good group, but a little high. So I think what we'll do, let this cool down, and then I have 3 more rounds left of the Superformance, and we're gonna drill those into the same spot and see if there's much of a difference there. So I'll let this cool down for a sec. All right, folks, I drilled 2 more in it with the Superformance, and you can see I got 1 low one, but that's a decent group. That is a decent group, and we're right at that 3-inch mark above bullseye, and I need to be 1.5 to 2 inches. I'm not gonna mess with the windage. It might be cheating a little bit to the left, but we're gonna come down just a little bit on that elevation, and then we're gonna punch out 400 yards right now on that tree stump way over there. I need to grab my other target over there, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, folks, so I'm gonna attempt to make a long shot, and I don't really know how this is gonna go. One thing I did notice when I was sitting there examining my shots through the scope, I found out that my reticle, you know how the crosshairs, they'll have some lines going up and going down. Well, at 100 yards, zoomed all the way in, it's right at 3 inches at 100 yards, each little notch for me. Okay, so if I'm zeroed at 200, which I'm pretty confident I'm really close to being zeroed at 200. My groups on that last, you guys seen, they were about 3 inches high. I went down about 1 inch on the scope. Should put us right in the ballpark of 1.5 to 2 inches above center at 100 yards, which should dial us for 200. And if we look here, we should be 1.5 inches high at 100 if we want to go 0. So I'm pretty confident that I'm right there. So at 300, we're getting 7 inches of drop, which means at 300 yards, I could just hold up on my reticle 2 bars, right? I'm thinking that's the right thing. But see, at 300, yeah, see, I don't know. This is getting confusing. So at 400, it's going to drop 20 inches. So, and that's being zeroed at 200. So if I need to come up 20 inches, that's roughly 4 bars on here. That would be 20 inches at 100 feet, or I mean at 100 yards. So I think I'm on the right track. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around and try to zoom in as much as I can on the stump to see if we can see impact, and just go from there and see if I'm even close to what I'm thinking. I'm trying to get this to where I don't really want, I don't really want to make shots over 3, especially 400 yards. 500 yards is kind of getting out of hand. But the thing is because I don't have like a quick adjust turrets on here, I don't really want to be messing with the turrets when I'm out in the field, because this scope's not really designed for that, even though I probably could, and I might do the dope and just put me some markers on here anyways. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I just want to hold high with the reticles and see if I can transfer that information out to 400 yards. So let's see how it goes. I have 1 more Superformance left. We'll do it with this because these are a little bit slower and heavier. So see what happens, man. Ought to be fun. All right, guys, changing it up a bit. I forgot I have my spotting scope with me. So I've got a target out there. You guys will not be able to see it, but it's out there. It took me a long time to find it once I came back to get it. I just set up my pistol target out there. It's metal. Should be close to about a MOA at the distance it's at. It's a little over 300 yards. I think my Onyx app is saying 326 or something because I marked the pinpoint. So I'm gonna try to get it in focus here on my spotting scope, and we're gonna punch out and see if I can even get close. At least with it being metal, I'll be able to hear if I hit it. It's gonna be highly challenging. The wind's picking up now, but it feels like it's mostly in my face, but it's a solid 5, 6, 7 mile an hour wind. So I'm gonna see if I can get this lined up here and on this mount here. I got a really cheap tripod, so let's see what we can do. All right, you guys can see it there. The bottom of the screen actually got it. All this movement is just from the wind blowing the tripod. So you can see kind of center, lower. You can see the target there. So I'm gonna try to find this in my scope and see what happens. Holy cow. Holy cow, I think I hit it. Whoa. All right, folks, that was awesome. Hit the freaking target. I was looking back on the video and you can actually see some of the bullet in there. It looks like I hit the target. I thought at first maybe I hit one of the legs of it, but we're gonna go get the target now. The problem is, as you guys seen, it spun the target 90 degrees. So it's perpendicular to me now, or parallel to me now instead of perpendicular. And so I have to go back out there to get it. So that was a big hike to go out there and get that. I actually drove my truck down this road here and then I hiked out there that way. Let me tell you guys, I'm finding deer tracks everywhere, like fresh deer tracks all out here. So I don't think I told you guys yet, I got a Weyerhaeuser permit. So I'm gonna be hunting on the other side of the valley that's more towards that way. But man, I don't know if I could sneak out here and set up camp or something for opening day. Maybe just sit out here. This would be a good spot to spot and scope out here. But I have a real good feeling that this place is going to be a war zone come deer season. So yeah, I tried to come out here on the weekends to shoot, and this place is full. So in fact, there's people just right down this road here shooting down there right now. And I mean, it's, you know, so we're gonna load up. I think I'm done for the day. I'm very happy with today's results. I think my scope is right there. Super, super duper happy. So what I did on that, you guys, just so you know, I held up 2 bars. So that is approximately, well, now I'm getting mixed up here. I had supposed to be having a drop of around 7 inches, I think, on these. Let's see here. Get in focus. Yeah, 300 yards, 7.7 inches. And I held up 2 bars on my scope. So I don't know. Let's just say that was a lucky shot. We're gonna get more dialed in at longer distances, but I think I'm done for now because I want to get the suppressor mounted on this thing and see, you know, if that messed anything up or change anything. If you guys know of suppressors changing accuracy or you have to adjust the scope, post that in the comments below and tell me. That way I can kind of be prepared for it or whatever. But I think the next time I'm gonna come out shooting, I'm gonna do like probably 2 more rounds of shooting with the suppressor before I go out and hunt. We got about another month until, well, actually we got a month and a half until bear season starts. It's cougar season now. It's cougar season year round in Oregon, and I already have my cougar tag. So, but I'm still saving up for my predator call. So I'm not gonna try cougar hunting until I get my predator call. But man, with all this deer out here, these valleys and ravines, there might be some cats out here too. So I don't think I'm gonna get my predator call until right around bear season starts. So yeah, so we're gonna go out there and look at that target and see where I hit, and we're gonna call it a day. All right, made it back out here. My target, so you can see, you know, we were back here. So this thing spun. How the hell did it spin? Wow. Oh, there's a lot. Oh boy, Impact, baby. Drilled a straight dent into this steel right here at 330 yards, boy. Woo, good load. Look at that hit, guys. Oh, I am so happy. This is, I guess 4 inches. So I guess this would be about a 1 MOA at 400 yards. So yeah, for the way I was sighting this thing in and whatnot, man, that was a lot of energy because it hit this and then it spun this all the way back around. And this thing's pounded into the stump. Hope I can get this thing out. Oh man, got it. You can see that thing was in there. We got a good hit right there. Dented the back. Yeah, baby. That's some hearse purr right there, boy. All right, I'm stoked. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next time we're out, I promise we're gonna have the suppressor on there because I'm not shooting that gun again until I have my suppressor, or if hunting season comes before that. So, but yeah, this is a nice little clear cut out here. Deer signs everywhere. There's the old Combinator. Time to hike back to the truck and get in better shape. I need to quit smoking them cancer sticks, but I'm gonna keep doing this. So until next time, folks, have a good one.